Hello, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue on with our series of learning PowerShell for teachers, attorneys, students, and office workers. We're going to go over some real-life examples that I use on a daily basis that helps make my work more efficient, and I'm hoping it would make your work more efficient too. That way you can save your time and energy for tasks that matter rather than doing redundant things that PowerShell can do quicker and better with less errors. So let's continue with what we have done from the last lesson, and I'm just going to give you an overview. Something that you can use to look at your folder structure like it is an x-ray is using tree, and I'm going to do a dash or /f at the end to see the files within, and I can see inside of our classroom folder we have our example CSV that we used last time to look at no type information. We looked at our grades file, which had a list of 6 individuals, 6 students with their different assignments and their different grades. We had a couple of videos ago created a folder for each student in an automated way. And in the last video, we went and we separated this grade CSV into multiple sub files where it would only show that student's assignments and grades, and it was not going to make it where Barry would be able to see the grades and assignments of the other students. So now let's pretend we don't have this grades once we lost it, or maybe we never did have. Maybe we always saved files individually, and now it is time where we are wanting to combine multiple CSV files together to a single CSV file. So what we need to do first is we're needing to save the list of names so we have something to work off of. We have a list to work off of. And you'll see here we had a consistent formatting of name and name for the files. So if you have something slightly different, we would need to alter what we're doing here. But again, this is the basics to get you started, and we can move into more difficult scenarios in future videos. So how are we going to get a list of these names? We can do that by doing get child item, and we are wanting only the directories. So let's take a look at that. And here we have the directories, the mode, last write time, linked and name. And if we are wanting to look at only the name, if we select object, name. When we do that, we have a list of only the names, but we have on top of that list this header, and we are not wanting that header. We're wanting the names and only the names. So let's put a parenthesis around the beginning and the end, and let's say name again, because this is the column heading. If it was a different column heading, if we had student, we could say student. And when we do that, we now get the same list again, but without the header. And that is what we're aiming for. We're aiming for a simple list of the names, not one with header attached. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same command as before, but we're going to give it to a variable. Let's call it names. So let's save. Let's look at it, and sure enough, we can see names is equal to all of the names without the header that we had seen previously. So now we're going to go to our trusty for each, and of course the format of that is parentheses, for which we're going to give the list, and we're going to use the curly brackets for the function, for the format of what we're going to want to do. So let's go ahead and say for each name in names. Again, this is something we're just now creating. We can call it anything else, A, B, C, D, item, file within files, but just try and keep it consistent. Name within names or student within students. Now, what are we wanting to do? We're wanting to import the CSV, and we're wanting to import it from the folders that we are currently in. We're in the classroom folder, and so we want to tell it the name of the path, which is of the directory we're going to go into, so it's going to be name. But we also need to tell it specifically which file we're looking in. So we're going to do name-name.csv. Actually, I need to make sure to put that as a variable as well. So for instance, this is going to say aligeorge/aligeorge.csv. If we open this up, it'd be the aligeorge/aligeorge.csv. So that is what we're pointing to. And then of course, it'll move on to the next one, to Amy Ross, Barry Nix, and continuing on. So once we have imported that, we're wanting to immediately export it. And we need to give it a file name. Let's call it combined CSV. And we're going to create it within the same folder we're doing right now. So there's no need to give it any extra path. It's going to create it down over here. We know from the last video, we want to make sure to say the no type information, so it does not give us that extra row on top. And we're also wanting to add a new one we've not used before, and that is append. So what is this going to do? Whenever we create and export the first time, if this file is not present, such as our situation here, it will create it. But if this file is available, it will continue to add additional information. So the very first time for Ali George, it's going to create this combined CSV. Then for the next one, Amy Ross, it is going to add to it. And for each subsequent student, it's going to continue adding. So let's hit enter. It's showing done. So let's go to it. Here we have our brand new combined CSV. And if we open this up, here we can see in the preview, let's open it up all the way. It has indeed added all of the students together, all of the assignments and all of the grades. So this is the exact same as our first file of grades. However, it's in a slightly different order because of how we put the information together earlier. It was non-alphabetical student names, but the assignments were in a slightly different order. But we do have all of the information here. So now you can go into your Excel, your Office Libre, whatever you want to alter this information. But I'm hoping that this helps you learn how to create a single CSV file from multiple. Extremely helpful, especially if you have many files you're all wanting to get organized together. If you found this video helpful, please press like. If you have any questions or comments, please leave that down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.